Welcome to our podcast on the latest in crypto and blockchain. I'm Jane.
And I'm Nike. Today, we're going to talk about a groundbreaking development in the Bitcoin ecosystem.
That's right. ZeroSync Association, a Swiss-based nonprofit, is developing tooling that will allow Bitcoin users to validate the state of the network without having to download the entire blockchain or trust a third party for verification.
This is huge news for the Bitcoin community because currently, node operators have to download a large amount of data to synchronize the correct state of the Bitcoin network. But with ZeroSync's tool, users will be able to expedite the process of verifying individual blocks and eventually the entire blockchain using zero-knowledge proofs.
Yes, and ZeroSync is using STARK-ware's proprietary zero-knowledge scalable transparent argument of knowledge validity proofs to generate these ZK proofs for the Bitcoin network.
This means that ZK proofs, which have been a revelation for the Ethereum ecosystem, will now be applied to the Bitcoin network. And the promise of ZK proofs for blockchain scalability and privacy is huge.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is that ZeroSync is using ZK proofs to eventually generate valid proof and verify the latest state of the blockchain almost instantaneously. This will overhaul the process of verifying the Bitcoin blockchain.
And what's even more exciting is that the ZK proof tools do not require consensus changes or additional trust assumptions for the Bitcoin network and its users. The organization is building a software development kit that will allow developers to generate custom validity proofs for specific use cases without needing in-depth domain expertise.
And ZeroSync is not stopping there. They're in the process of building a client for fast initial block download as well as implementing the first complete proof of Bitcoin consensus. The client will allow users to sync a full node without making code changes to Bitcoin Core.
The team is using the Cairo programming language, pioneered by STARK-ware, to create STARK-provable programs for computations.
It's important to note that ZeroSync's tool is currently in a prototype state but has the ability to prove the validity of individual assumed valid blocks, which verify all Bitcoin rules except for scripts. And the team also has a working in-browser demo verifier for Stark proofs of Bitcoin blocks.
And to add to that, the ZeroSync Association was initially funded by Geometry and STARK-ware but is now establishing a non-profit entity to enable ongoing development and maintenance from stakeholders within the Bitcoin community.
This is a significant development in the world of crypto and blockchain, and as Eli Ben-Sasson, the co-founder of STARK-ware, said, it's a technological leap akin to the transition from slow dial-up internet to high-speed broadband. So Lightning Labs, the team behind the Bitcoin Layer 2 Lightning Network payment system, is a contributing partner to ZeroSync's project. Could you tell us more about the differences between these two technologies?
Sure. Zero-knowledge proofs and the Lightning Network are both aiming to improve the scalability and privacy of the Bitcoin network, but they work in different ways. A zero-knowledge proof is a cryptographic technique that allows one party to prove to another that a statement is true without revealing any other information apart from the statement itself. In the context of the Bitcoin network, ZK proofs allow users to verify the state of the blockchain without downloading the entire blockchain or trusting a third party.
That's really interesting. So how does the Lightning Network work?
The Lightning Network is a Layer 2 scaling platform that allows users to transact quickly and securely across a network of participants without the need for trust. By creating a network of two-party ledger entries, participants can find a path across the network to route transactions, and the nodes along the path are not trusted, as payments are enforced using scripts.
So while both zero-knowledge proofs and the Lightning Network are designed to improve the scalability and privacy of the Bitcoin network, they work in very different ways.
That's right. Zero-knowledge proofs provide almost fixed-size proofs verifying large computations, which could greatly improve blockchain scalability and privacy, while the Lightning Network enables fast and secure transactions between participants without the need for trust.
It's time for our news section, and today we're discussing the latest developments from Singapore, where regulators have been working with traditional banks to develop uniform standards for screening potential customers from the crypto industry.
Yes, that's right. According to a Bloomberg report, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, MAS, has been working alongside the police forces to help local banks optimize their procedures for opening accounts of digital asset service providers. The collaboration has been ongoing for the last 6 months, and its results and conclusions for risk management and due diligence will be published in the next 2 months.
That's interesting. So what exactly will these guidelines cover?
The guidelines will cover the screening of potential customers from the crypto industry, stablecoins, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and transferable gaming or streaming credits. However, the banks will reserve the right to make decisions based on guidelines and their own risk assessment.
That's an important point to note. These guidelines won't have a binding force over banks, which can rely on their own risk assessment. So, how does this affect Singapore's position as a hub for crypto businesses?
Well, Singapore has established itself as a hub for crypto businesses owing to its flexible tax policies, access to diverse tech talent, and convenient location, allowing companies to operate smoothly within the region in Asian time zones. However, in late 2022, the MAS proposed banning digital payment token service providers from offering any credit facility to consumers, including both fiat and cryptocurrencies. Back then, local crypto lobbyists voiced their opposition to the proposal.
And what about the current investigation that's going on in Singapore?
Currently, the local enforcers are conducting a probe connected to failed Terraform Labs and its co-founder Do Kwon. The collapse of the Terra ecosystem caused a major implosion in the digital asset market, with losses of nearly $40 billion. It will be interesting to see how this investigation plays out and what implications it has for the crypto industry in Singapore.
And our next news from the Arbitrum Foundation. So what's the latest from Arbitrum?
Well, the Arbitrum Foundation has released new improvement proposals following the controversy surrounding their first attempt at governance.
What exactly do these proposals entail?
The new proposals include AIP 1.1, which covers a smart contract lockup schedule, spending, budget, and transparency. The other, AIP 1.2, tackles amendments to current founding documents and lowers the proposal threshold from 5 million Arbitrum ARB tokens to 1 million ARB to make governance more accessible.
And why did they release these new proposals?
The Arbitrum DAO voted against the first proposal, AIP1, due to community backlash. Token holders objected to the proposal, arguing that it encompassed too many topics, and they were against granting around $1 billion worth of ARB tokens to the foundation.
That's a significant amount. Did the foundation respond to this backlash?
Yes, they did. In a tweet on April 5, the foundation confirmed that they would not take control of the remaining 700 million tokens in the administrative budget wallet until an acceptable budget and smart contract lockup schedule have been approved by the DAO.
That's good to hear. Did the foundation provide any transparency regarding their actions?
Yes, they did. The foundation issued a transparency report, which describes actions taken to get the DAO up and running. They stated that they have heard the feedback and have worked diligently to address it and make sure the foundation can represent and serve the DAO's best interests with their support.
That's good to hear that they're taking feedback into account. Are there any plans for a vote on these new proposals?
Yes, the 2 new AIPs were posted on the Arbitrum Community Forum and will be available for feedback for at least 72 hours before a planned week-long snapshot vote.
And how has the market reacted to this news?
ARB prices have dropped 4% over the past 24 hours, falling to $1.22. The Layer 2 token was dumped heavily following its airdrop on March 23 and is down 86% from its peak price of over $8.50 on that day.
Wow, that's a significant drop. It'll be interesting to see how the market continues to react to these new proposals.
Definitely. We'll have to keep an eye on this situation and see how it develops.
Our next story is about how Apple's Mac devices have been hiding Bitcoin's white paper for up to 5 years.
That's right. According to an April 5 blog post from technologist Andy Baio, a PDF of the Bitcoin white paper has apparently shipped with every copy of macOS since Mojave in 2018.
That's quite surprising. Apparently, Bayo stumbled upon it by accident when he was trying to fix his printer.
That's right. Bayo was scanning a document with a wireless scanner when he noticed a device called Virtual Scanner 2 that he'd never seen before. By default, Virtual Scanner 2 showed a photo, but when Bayo changed the media type from photo to document, Nakamoto's white paper appeared.
That's really interesting. Bayo then confirmed with his Mac-using friends that they could also see the white paper on their devices. In his blog post, Bayo claimed that the file is found on every version of Mac OS from Mojave to the current version, except for High Sierra or earlier.
It's unclear why Nakamoto's white paper is shipped with modern versions of Mac OS. Bayo speculated in his post that it was just a convenient, lightweight multi-page PDF for testing purposes, never meant to be seen by end users.
That could be true. But it's also possible that Apple deliberately included the white paper to expose users to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. In any case, it's quite interesting that the white paper has been hiding in plain sight on Mac devices for so long.
Yes, it is. We reached out to Apple for comment but have not yet received a response. It will be interesting to see if they provide any explanation for this hidden feature in their operating system.
And that's all the time we have for today's episode. We hope you found this episode informative and insightful. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back soon with more news and analysis from the world of blockchain and cryptocurrency.